Don't let this happen to you. So this customer today called us out here today because they're dealing with some carpenter bee issues. So we're just going to take a look at that for them. So kind of what we're looking for whenever we're looking for carpenter bees. So if we come in down here, on wooden decks especially, it's an issue. You can see this hole right here. So what carpenter bees do whenever they're digging the holes is they actually lay the larvae up inside of the hole. That way when eventually it hatches, it'll come right back out. We have a new bee. So the problem is a lot of people just seal up these holes, but what you really need to do is chemically treat and seal, because if you just seal, those eggs are going to hatch, they're going to dig their way right back out, and you're just dealing with the exact same issue. So really all the way across this deck, you can see there's just holes littered across the entire way, especially whenever you have an older wooden deck. It's softer wood, it's easier for them to dig into. If you see one hole, you're probably going to find a lot more. So typically whenever you're looking for carpenter bee activity, and you want to kind of decide, is this a carpenter bee, is it not, what am I dealing with? This hole right up here in the upper left is the perfect example. They make perfectly round, small circular holes inside your wood. Now the issue is, if we kind of scroll down here, woodpeckers love to eat carpenter bee larvae. So anytime you see any wood with carpenter bee holes, you have a lot of woodpeckers in the area. It's dinner time for them, and they're going to make sure they get it. So if you look up in here, the powdered frass is kind of what they leave behind, and that little white guy right there is hatching carpenter bee larvae. Don't let this happen to you. Remember, if you see small holes, frass, which is that yellow sawdusty material, it'll stick to your walls, or even some woodpecker damage, it might be a sign that you have carpenter bees. Now again, it's much cheaper just to go and get rid of the pest rather than replace the entire wood that they destroyed. Alright, so the question is then, how do you deal with carpenter bees? So the treatment plan for carpenter bees, we would always chemically treat the holes with a powdered dust that we push up inside, make sure we get full coverage around the entire hole. Anything that's flying in and out, it's going to rub on their bodies and it disrupts their growth process and ends up killing them off. Then we also go ahead and seal up those holes for you as well. That way your house doesn't look like Swiss cheese.